Hello and welcome to KamenRider Blackman, and welcome to part 2 of Drive Month. And today we will be reviewing the Kamen Rider Drive Saga Kamen Rider Chaser. Whew. So right after this show, the first thing I immediately did was watch the Drive Saga movies, and the Heart/Mock movie. We'll get to that next time. But for right now, the movie starts with a montage of information we already know about from the show proper. The montage stops, and it's just Chase waking up from a dream and is called by Kiriko about a rampaging Roymute. Chase is there at the scene and unfortunately lets the Roymute escape because it shot someone. And there's two subplots to the movie. One is Medic looking up how to, I want to say, seduce Heart, while the other is Shinosuke and Go going over to a crime scene only to fight with Kamen Rider Axel, who takes the case because the body of the dead person is in the middle of city lines crossing from Kamen Rider W City to Drive's City. So I'm not gonna lie, this movie's pretty good. I even like that scene. I always knew that scene existed, but I never knew where exactly it was. I always thought it was like some special or something, but nope, it's in this movie. It's in this movie. And if you plan to watch this movie yourself, please do, because you can tell in the writing that they were just having fun with this. So Chase wishes that he could be human, and his wish comes true when he encounters the villain of the movie, Roymute number 99, the Angel Roymute. Now, her ability is to manipulate programmings to grant desires, and does so with Chase giving him emotions so that he can feel human, and more or less, be human. But while he does seem and feel and act human, it's more or less all an illusion. Also, not to mention, this movie is pretty PG-13, with unveiling a feather in between Roymute number 99's, above her cleavage, or less. Because why? Because this movie was so close to having full-blown nudity, but the closest it actually gets to it is this, and that Chase has a few topless scenes himself. Now, here's what I mean when I say that the writers were having fun with this movie. Krem is not himself. Like, he is a clown in this movie. Because for one scene, Shinosuke, Go, and Kiriko are doing a spit take, and Krem is there as well, participating. Despite the fact that he's a belt, so how can he drink? Well, once again, props goes to Chase's actor, because he is great. Whenever he changes tone in this movie, it's so fun because of how it's so funny because of how serious and silent he is. Like, do you know how hard it is to literally do a straight face for almost anything? I can't even do that. So, Heart and Brain both find out about Angel and tells them to back, and Angel tells them to back off, later resulting in Angel abducting Heart as a core. And as soon as Chase realizes that what she's doing is wrong, he hesitates. And honestly, I like that, because I think her plan of creating an ultimate peace without conflict is brilliant. Like, the only downside is that it would be under her control and she could use it for scheming. But what you gonna do? It's only so later in life that a villain's plan turns out to be well, in the right. Oh well, speaking of which, meanwhile, while Chase is human, he can't transform into Kamen Rider Chaser. And so instead, he uses his gun, and with Angel's technology, he's able to transform into a different form, a recolor of the Machine Chaser form called Super Chaser. Well, Super Machine Chaser. And I gotta say, I actually quite like this form. I like the gold touchings on all. I like the gold touchings all over, and the rhino motif. It looks brilliant, and the rhino motif on the shoulder, like the rhino shoulders, look amazing. And I think that fluke on top of his head is supposed to be the ear of the rhino. And if I think about that a bit more, I like it a bit more. This, like, compared to his regular suit, I like it. I like the super version of it so much more because it just looks so much. It looks a lot cooler, in my opinion, in gold. And so at the end of the day, Chase sacrifices his false humanity to be a Roymute again to save his friends and a civilian nearby who was also under Angel's delusion control. And so, with that said, this movie was pretty good. Like, really. About the Kamen Rider Axel subplot there, it was quite entertaining. And it also, and even years later in Drive, yeah, Axel and Akiko are still married. Oh, which, by the way, that's another thing I'll talk about if I ever get the W. And they have a kid in the future. But yeah, this movie is not bad. It's pretty simple. It's enjoyable. Like, once again, I like the villain's plan. Like, the one downside is that it would all probably be under her control, so who knows what she would do there. But a genius's work is always recognized once they've passed. So what you gonna do? Well, as I already said before, next time we will be looking at the Kamen Rider Heart / Kamen Rider Mock portions of the Drive Saga. So with that said, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and tell your friends about Kamen Rider Blackman. And we'll continue on with Drive Month.